What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and the 4G devices keep on coming. One of those is a Samsung DROID Charge with Verizon. Second 4G LTE device on the carrier, and it was announced at CES earlier in the year in Las Vegas. Specs-wise, 1 GHz Hummingbird processor, so it's that same processor that the Galaxy S line of devices has. 4.3-inch display, but it's a Super AMOLED display, so it'll be interesting to see how that compares to the Retina displays, the Super LCDs, stuff like that. And it's 4.3 inches, like I said. 8-megapixel camera on the back, 1.3-megapixel front-facing camera, physical capacitive buttons, and Android 2.2. Now, it's a $300 device, which begs the question, is this a device for you? Should you go with something a little bit cheaper like the Droid Incredible 2 and forego the 4G? We're going to try and find out that and more in Phone Dog's unboxing of the Samsung DROID Charge, which starts right now. 4G device number 2. Here it is, the Samsung DROID Charge, coming to Verizon on Thursday for $299.99. Now, it seems like Verizon's creating this price point change, if you will, between the 3G and the 4G devices. You know, you're seeing these 4G devices between $250 and $300, whereas you're seeing the high-end 3G devices staying at $199. So you can get something like a Droid Incredible 2, an iPhone 4 for $199.99, but then when you want a Thunderbolt or a DROID Charge, it's between $249 and $299. I have a feeling when the LG Revolution comes out, the Droid Bionic, or whatever they decide to call it, whatever they decide to call it at the time, I have a feeling those will be $299 as well. Special thanks to our friends at Verizon for hooking us up with a review unit so we can test it out, have a look at it, and let's see what comes on the what comes in the package. We have the DROID Charge, of course, the phone, battery. It's a 1600 milliamp battery, 32 gigabyte micro SD memory card, pre-installed, wall charger, warranty brochure, and quick reference guide. So just to talk through some of the specs here, 1 gigahertz processor. It's a Hummingbird processor, just like the Galaxy S series of devices. And then you have a 4.3-inch display. It's a Super AMOLED display to boot. So it's a big device. You can see, here's what it looks like just out of the box. Pretty big device, pretty thick in the hand. And then you can see a megapixel camera on the back with a flash, 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, capacitive buttons at the, or excuse me, physical buttons versus capacitive buttons at the bottom, as you can see there, and it kind of creates this pointy end there at the bottom. So cool design. I happen to like the way it looks. Let's get it zoomed in there. HDMI port on the side, power button, and you can see over here 3.5mm headphone jack on this side, volume rocker, micro USB charging port. Should get that to focus in, and all pretty svelte looking device. We'll power that on. And while that's powering on, we'll go through. Now, as I'm shooting this video, you know, people that will be watching this today know this, but for people that are watching a week from now, a month from now, Verizon's 4G LTE network is down at the moment nationwide, so we're not going to be able most likely to get 4G LTE speeds or do any testing like that on the device today. It's been down since this morning, so let's take a look here. AC adapter module, and it's a different one. It's not the typical Samsung one that you know from the Galaxy S devices. It's a different kind of boxy one, looks like rims. Or even apples. It looks a lot like apples. AC adapter module. Let's see here. Master your device. Información sobre la garantía y seguridad del producto. My Spanish. I need to hone up on it. Let me try it again. Información sobre la garantía y seguridad del producto. Product safety and warranty information. Stick that over here. Let's see. Consumer information about radio frequency emissions and responsible driving. Important consumer information, and then master your device. It's a pretty thick book, so it's a lot of mastering that's taking place, and it's 2 languages, but still a lot of mastering to be had in your little mini book here that comes in the box. And then your micro USB charging port / cable for when you're syncing information or if you want to connect it to the computer. So that's what comes in the box. Let's take a look at the device itself. And you know, as I say all the time, the camera doesn't do this justice. The screen is absolutely beautiful. You saw it at CES and again at Mobile World Congress. But just a gorgeous display. Looks even better than the Galaxy S line of devices. And supposedly it's easier to see outside. Now we'll put that to the test later on in the review and things like that. And I'll be getting some video samples later today and test the HD video quality on it. So it's running Android 2.2 with TouchWiz user interface. But you can see that's what it looks like. Pretty fast, pretty speedy. Little minor changes. Messaging icons changed from, well, it's actually the same as the Verizon Fascinate, but a little different if you're used to the other Galaxy S devices. So like I said, front-facing camera, so you can take advantage of that. And then out of the box, you get all-share VZ apps, or VZW apps, Backup Assistant, BitBop, Blockbuster pre-installed, City ID, Guided Tours, IM, Mobile Hotspot, Samsung's Media Hub, Rhapsody, My Verizon Mobile, let's see, Setup Wizard, TuneWiki, VZ Navigator, VCast Media, and Rock Band. So a lot of stuff pre-installed. Doubt that you can uninstall it. Let's see. We'll go to applications. Just give it a go here and see. You can install non-Android market stuff, so you can sideload applications if you want to. We're going to click on all and see. Yep, just as I figured, you can't uninstall any of the Verizon applications, so you're kind of stuck with those on there. But of course it is Android 2.2, so you can install applications and put those on the SD card. Here's what the settings look like. Let's take a look just quickly at the keyboard. Yeah, and you can see I'm still not getting 4G, so Verizon's 4G LTE is still down, so we can't do any browser stuff or anything like that. But you see, 4.3-inch display. Here's the Samsung keypad, and it comes with two out of the box. It comes with swipe and with the Samsung keypad. You'll notice that instead of the typical, you know, where it clicks and it allows me to select input method, it just assumes I'm automatically changing from changing keypad. So it says swipe and Samsung keypad. So here's what it looks like in portrait. Here's what it looks like in landscape mode. Oh, I turned that off. Let's see, auto rotation on. There we go, in landscape mode. And because of that big display, you have a lot of typing ability, a lot of typing space. So even for people with larger fingers, you can make it pretty easy. So let's do the quick brown fox. Wants to go outside. He's an indoor fox and he wants to go outside. Somebody said the other day he's had a lot of adventures lately. He has. He's looked for low-carb pasta. He's wanted to go outside. It's been kind of crazy week for the quick brown fox. But anyway, the quick brown fox wants to go outside. Pretty easy to type on, and like I said, it has swipe as well. So we'll save that as a draft and go back. You have your typical 7 home screens like you do in TouchWiz, and then let's see what comes new. Let's check for new widgets, things like that. Click. Let's see here. It looks like a let's see. Bam. There we go. Okay, widgets. And then we have our buddies now calendar, daily briefing. Let's bring up news just to see what it looks. Okay, so just tap that to get the news. Oh yeah, network not available, that's why. But you have these little widgets as well, and that's what we saw. I'll go back to that screen and show you. Otherwise, everything looks to be pretty similar with the exception of TuneWiki. But you have all these little widgets you can choose between AccuWeather, Finance, Mobile, and the date, which really just turns out to be all of the stuff available in daily briefing. So we'll do some more testing in the full review, but otherwise, you know, it looks like a pretty well-spec'd device. It's going to be a tough call for a lot of people between this and between the HTC Thunderbolt, particularly if people want a design that's pretty similar to, at least in the menu structure, that's pretty similar to iOS. You know, Apple is suing Samsung, and this is what they're claiming, and I have to say, it looks pretty similar. You can see there, pretty similar to the apps that you see in iOS. Much more coverage to come on the Samsung DROID Charge and more on PhoneDog.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook. We're giving away a ton of stuff, a ton of iPads, smartphones, as part of our colossal iPad 2 and smartphone sweepstakes. And follow me on Twitter as well. Let me know what you think about this device. Hit me up with any questions, anything you'd like to see in the review, the first impressions article, anything like that. I'd love to answer those questions for you. PhoneDog_Aaron. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.